Hey guys, welcome to Teal House Farm. Off the farm again this morning. I'm actually by myself. Look, empty car. I have my 1 year, well, it's actually a little bit more. It's like 1 year and 2 months right now because I have a schedule work. But post-op meeting with my cardiologist, and I am really hoping, fingers crossed, that this is the last time I'm ever going to need to see a cardiologist. So if you have been with us for a little bit, you'll know that last year, a little more than a year ago, I had a procedure done on my heart, and because it was having a lot, it would just beat really irregularly, really fast and things like that. And it's actually a problem that I've had really since like late high school, but I would have just really short episodes and it didn't really bother me. Then when I got into college, it got worse, and I went and saw a cardiologist as a young adult, and he basically told me I was just having anxiety and needed to see a counselor. And then I was so embarrassed that I never talked about it again, and it just got like progressively worse the older I got. And then about 2 years ago, it got really bad. I ended up as an inpatient in the hospital because I couldn't get my heart to slow down. And that's when I got hooked up. I finally went and saw another cardiologist now. This is, 15 years later, and he was wonderful. And he explained, it was something called SVT, and my SVT would go on so long that it would cause AFib problems. It was really not very good for my heart. And at that time, we tried a little bit of medication just to help keep it slow. And I was also pregnant with Patton at that time, so there wasn't really much they could do. And then when I was 36 weeks pregnant, after the pregnancy went pretty well at the beginning, and then very end of 36 weeks pregnant with Patton, and I had a horrible attack, just like tunnel vision. It was so fast. Sam rushed me to the emergency room, which where we live is a tiny little rural Band-Aid station. And I'm so thankful for that little rural Band-Aid station, because they let me know that if I had tried to go to a larger hospital, which is, an hour or more away, I probably would not have made it. And it was just so scary. And in that little hospital, they had to try several things to get it to slow down, and they finally gave me a drug and let me know that there was like a pretty high percentage, of something like 40% chance, that it would also stop the baby's heartbeat, but that there wasn't anything they could do about it in this hospital. It was a tiny rural hospital. There's no obstetricians. The hospital didn't even have like a Doppler, and that's like a $50 piece of equipment. So they gave me the medication. Thankfully, it stopped my heart, and then they restarted it, and I went right back into rhythm, and it was normal, and everything is fine, which I was so thankful for. But I just remember like laying on that emergency room table, waiting, because they had called an ambulance that was going to come transport me to a larger hospital that would have OB staff, and I had no way to know whether or not Patton was still alive in my belly, because they didn't have a Doppler, and at that time he wasn't kicking, and I was just laying it there, like begging him to start kicking. And I'm so thankful. Everything turned out to be fine. He was born a few weeks later. He's absolutely fine and no ill effects from that. But I decided at that time that I was not messing with this anymore. So as soon as he was born, my cardiologist and I got together and decided we needed to see somebody called a cardiac electrophysiologist, which specializes in the electricity that makes electricity makes your heart work. And that doctor was absolutely wonderful, and he referred me right away to have a surgery called, well, I guess it's not technically surgery, they don't cut me open from the top, but something called a cardiac ablation, which zaps dead the part of the heart that is not doing its job well, the part that kind of freaks out and goes and then makes the whole heart go too fast. And that was 1 year and 2 months ago. I'll link the video for that whole thing below if you want to see the procedure, how it worked and stuff that day. But since then I have had exactly 0 problems, which has been an absolute miracle after struggling for 15, almost 20 years of my life with it. So today should be my last checkup, and hopefully he's very pleased and never wants to see me again. It makes me so thankful for modern medicine and everything that it can do, because it was so scary, especially as it just suddenly decided last 2 years of my life was going to go from short little episodes that were pretty manageable. It didn't do anything but, just like sit down and do vagal maneuvers, they call them, to make it pop back into rhythm, to like episodes that would last hours, and struggling to even control them with medication. So very thankful. So let's go see, and hopefully we have good news, and then we'll be back. It's also the nastiest rainy day here, so super excited about having to make that walk into the building. It is just the nastiest, coldest, rainy day today. I don't know how it's not snowing and it's raining instead. I am just getting absolutely soaked. And of course, there were no parking spaces close by, so it was a dash to the finish line here to get inside. And I was just wet to the bone, right through my coat. I would have worn a raincoat, but I don't have one. But oh well. Mask on so we can go in. This facility has a lot of elderly patients, so they do require masks. And it's up the stairs, and we're going to try to somewhat put ourselves back together here and dry off a little bit with some paper towels. And then it's to the waiting room to wait for the doctor. They're pretty good here about not making waits too long. Probably waited about 20 minutes, which in my experience is not at all terrible. And then we go back to the doctor's room and we wait there as well. But all in all, they get me in and out in about, I don't know, I'd say about 40 minutes I was done. And that's pretty good in my book for a doctor's appointment. So dash back to the car, soaking wet again, super cold. Let's get in and get the heat going and get back home. Oh man. It's just so wet out. All right, everything went really, really well. So doesn't need to see me again unless I should develop a new problem, which they don't anticipate. So it's great news. It's great to feel not worried about that all the time anymore. It's just, it was such a prevented me from doing things I wanted to do because I was too worried about causing a problem. Now I feel like I can do anything I want to do. So that's awesome. All right, let's go home and see what's going on at home. Why'd you come outside with no shoes on, silly? Is that Mr. P? Why are you walking around with the Desitin, Mr. P? Can I have that, please? Can I have that? Thank you. Okay, made it home. The girls are watching a show because Sam is studying right now. So they're going to finish that up and then we're going to do lunch real fast and then get out of here again. I was just consulting my manual here and it looks like I'm supposed to change sheets today. So we can get that done or get that started before we leave again because we have gymnastics this afternoon and therapy and all sorts of stuff. So we got to go to another city. Micah gives me a hand here in the big girls' room. We're going to pull all the sheets off their beds. I try to follow the cleaning schedule in that daily planner. I'll link that planner below. It's by the Passionate Penny Pincher. I love it. Keeps me on task. So we'll get everything in the washing machine and get it going before we leave. And then we head out, we do therapy, and then they have gymnastics class, which the 3 older girls do. They love it. It's amazing to watch Annie do gymnastics, knowing that just a year ago she was barely able to walk. Then it's back home, and we go ahead and put on the sheets that we had washed, stuck in the dryer before we left. I'll do the little girl's bedroom tomorrow. I just weren't enough hours in the day today. Get everything remade, and then it's time for dinner. The kids all ate while I was gone. Sam had the little kids with him at home, and I took the big girls out. So the little kids are pretty much ready to bed. JJ gets a coin here every day that she wears her wrap because her collarbone is healing. She broke it a couple weeks ago, so she gets to put it in her little piggy bank and save it up. And she doesn't have to sleep in the little wrap. We just have to wear it during the day so that she'll keep her arm by her side. So some freedom here for JJ for bedtime. Little man missed his mommy today, so we can get some snuggles in. Okay, people in bed. Sam and my dinner's done. We're gonna relax now and close out the night with probably a TV show. And we're going to bed. How was studying today?
It was okay.
It's okay?
I had 3 little ones with me.
I know, it's hard. Thanks for taking care of them so I can get all that done.
And Patty the Batty was a terror, but oh well.
So, alright. We'll see everybody tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Good night.